Welcome back. So in the last video we went over and we were looking at the student screen tab here, and we were also looking at alphabetical order and how to add a student, export to student, what that looked like on Excel. Then we went down and we looked at through some of these tabs. Most of this stuff, if you're doing the free version, you won't have to worry about, like substandard, power. Some of that stuff won't come up on your won't come up because you don't have the other version that costs $250 a year. So I wouldn't worry about those things anyway, because like I said, we're going to use this to set up classes, put our students in, create assessments, log evidence, and show mastery of the standards that we're assessing here. So as you can see, it popped up here. So I can go in. So what I'm going to show you in this video is I'm going to show you how to add an assessment and how you can get to that. As I went through, as you can tell, last time I had a long chain of standards that came all the way out here, all the 5th grade. It goes all the way from reading informational, reading literature, all the way through writing and things like that. So it hits every single one of the standards, because when we went in and we added our standards, they only gave us that one option of the GSE in 5th grade reading and ELA, and they put the writing standards and everything under that umbrella. So I went in, and let's say these are the 5 that I choose. Excuse me, ELA, 5th grade ELA and reading teachers. I just chose 5 at random as I was going through and deleting, and I did that by going through and just removing the standard. It took me about 5 minutes to get rid of them, so it shouldn't take you that long. All you really do is you go down and you click remove standard. Okay, I want to remove that standard. It goes away like I showed in the last video. But let's say that I click too many. See, I'm down here to 5 now, which is really where I want to be. But let's say I go in and I remove RL9 right here from the Georgia Standards of Excellence, and I remove that. It's like, uh-oh, no, RL9 is one of my essential standards. I need that one back. So I can always go in and I can always add a standard to it. So let's go in up here to our little orange box of everything, and I'm going to add a standard. So I go in, I'm going to go to ELA. Remember, we don't do GSE. It pops up this. Usually it'll pop up and it'll automatically put in my GSE, but since I'm adding one on my own, it won't automatically pop it up for me. There's only one for Georgia, so I'll click on it. Go down to class. I am teaching 5th grade, and then it gives me a selection. All right, what do you want to put in? Which one did you take off that you need to put in there? There's my RL9, which is compare and contrast in the same genre, which I know that 5th graders must do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that standard. So I go in, it does its work, and boom, it pops it. Now, this time it popped it on the back side of it. It was up here, now it's back here. These can always be moved around in order that you're going to do them throughout the year. Now, if this is a year-long one, you may want to put it on the back end, front end if you're starting to assess it early, and then you have these in the middle. It's however you want to do it. That's just your personal preference. But I can always slide these over. It gives you a little arrow there. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that one all the way to the front because that's where I want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to add an assessment. And I'll show you how we do that. So go in. I want to assess. Let's say I want to assess this standard on my CFA. So I click on that. It goes into my page. Now it shows all of my students. Still gives me that tracker bar with my little orange box of everything here is what I like to call it, because it gives you everything that you need to do, sort by mastery, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, since you saw me how to, if I make a mistake and I delete one, how to bring it back as well. And then I'll show you how to go in and add an assessment or assessments for this certain standard.